Tick, tick, tick. More on the Fiscal Cliff negotiations. I'm joined by Congressman Peter King of New York, who is involved. All right, Congressman, great to have you here.
Great to be
Happy holidays.
Happy birthday.
All right, but I got to challenge you on this one.
Here we go.
What the heck are you doing home when we are about to approach the fiscal cliff? Should you be in Washington? Would more get done?
Probably not. I'm on 48-hour notice. I'd just as soon stay the whole time if I thought something was going to happen. But once the deal broke off on Thursday night, the president and the speaker and apparently the majority leader in the Senate thought it was best for them to step back and now try to work out an arrangement. I'd have no problem being there.
Were you in support of the Plan B?
Yeah, I was. It was not a perfect plan, but I thought, considering the alternative, I mean, basically what John Boehner was saying is that no taxes would raise anyone who had under $1 million. So basically, he was setting $1 million threshold. The president is either $250,000 or $400,000. So I thought that John Boehner's position was better, and it would strengthen his hand in the negotiations. And the fact that I think too many people in our conference, they were afraid they'd be seen as voting to increase taxes, but by not voting for the tax on those over $1 million, what they're doing is allowing the tax on everyone over $250,000 to go up.
Is the Senate...
On everybody, actually.
Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid has gotten involved also. Is he helpful or hurtful to the cause of coming up with a resolution?
I don't know if the Democrats are serious. I mean, there is talk the Democrats want us to go over the fiscal cliff. And because, again, if no action is taken by December 31st, everyone's taxes go up. That gives more revenue into the federal government. And then the president can decide who he's going to propose tax cuts for. So I think that the Democrats may feel it's better for them to go over the cliff. That gives them the upper hand because they'll have all the revenues in because everyone's taxes will be going up.
Automatically.
Automatically.
Right, because the Bush tax cuts expire. Right. What would happen to spending if we went over the cliff?
Well, then you have the sequestration. We have automatic spending cuts come in, which in some cases might be good, but on the other hand, it could also decimate defense. And that's the real concern I have, is that these cuts are almost arbitrarily 50-50, and yet defense is not 50% in the budget, and it's going to drastically cut, I believe, needed weapon systems, and also just the deployment of our troops.
I can understand as chairman of Homeland Security that you would be concerned about that. In terms of this Christmas break now that you're home, the president's in Hawaii, the president basically suggested that it's a cooling off period for everyone. Are you optimistic that next week things could change? All of a sudden a deal could happen?
Well, I'm optimistic if people want a deal, we can get one probably done within the hour. But really, people are far apart. I mean, many Republicans feel they were elected under a pledge not to raise taxes no matter what. Democrats were elected under a pledge that everyone over $250,000 has to have their taxes go up, and they're locked in. And there's only 3 or 4 days to go, really, once we come back. And actually, right now, I can tell you talks are going on, I'm sure, between the staffs of the Speaker and the Majority Leader and the White House. So it's not as if nothing's being done. But again, if people want a deal, I can have it. But if not, it can be very difficult. So I'd say it's 50-50.
One other thing that you've been following certainly are the hearings on Libya. And Hillary Clinton,
right.
Secretary of State, had a virus, has a concussion, and wasn't able to testify. Ileana Ros-Lehtinen said she will be there to testify no matter what. At this point, what do you think we'll learn from the secretary that we're not learning from these hearings? How important is it for her to testify? And if she does, is Libya something that's going to stay with her should she decide to have a run next go around?
I think of all the members of the cabinet, I think Secretary Clinton is probably the most able and has done the best job. Obviously, she has questions to answer as to what happened in Benghazi. I think the report was pretty accurate. I don't believe that it did reach her, but I do think she has an obligation to testify to show just what her role was, how high up it did go, how those decisions are made. Apparently it did not go to her, but why doesn't it go that high? And as far as if she runs in 2016, I think she'll be judged on an entire record. I don't think, so long as she comes in and testifies and lays out what happened, I think that will immunize her as far as running for president if she wants to in the future. But it's essential that she do testify.
All right, New York Congressman Peter King, who says on 48 hours notice he'll be back in Washington to work on the negotiations. We appreciate that. Nice to see you, sir.
Good.
Always is.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Congressman.